Hi everyone, welcome to Emma, a true infidelity story. I'm excited to share a new story with you. The sun was just beginning to set, casting a warm golden hue over the small, cozy living room where Sophia, a single mother in her late 29s with a gentle demeanor, was seated. She was a woman of average height with a slender build, her face framed by soft, curly brown hair that reflected her calm, nurturing nature. Today, however, her usual calm was disrupted by a mix of surprise and confusion, all because of a rather unusual demand from her teenage son, Jack. Sophia began her story. It was an ordinary Wednesday, much like any other. I had just finished tidying up the kitchen after our early dinner, and was looking forward to a quiet evening with my book. That's when Jack came home from school, his face flushed with excitement, which was unusual for him, especially after a day at school. He's usually so reserved, spending most of his time in his room with his books and video games, as she continued. Her voice conveyed a mix of bewilderment and amusement. You won't believe what he asked for. Out of nowhere. He said he wanted us to foster a cute dog. Not just any cute dog, mind you, but a large, energetic one that could accompany him on his morning runs. I stared at him completely taken aback. We had never had a pet before, not even a goldfish, owing to our tight living conditions and my long work hours. But there he was looking at me with those big pleading eyes that were so hard to say no to the room around. Sophia seemed to close in as she delved deeper into her reflections. I remember thinking, why now, what's changed? But there was something in his tone, a sort of determination I hadn't seen in him before, made me pause. He went on to explain how he'd read about the benefits of having a pet, not just for physical health, but for mental well-being too. And after the tough year he'd had at school coping with bullying and academic pressure, I could see why he might think a cute dog could be good for him. Her voice softened as she recounted the events that followed. So there I was faced with a decision. Do I keep our lives simple and manageable? Or do I step into this entirely new territory for the sake of my son's happiness? It was a lot to consider, but looking at Jack, seeing his hopeful expression, made me think about the deeper layers of his request. This wasn't just about wanting a pet. It was his way of seeking companionship, and perhaps a way to regain confidence through responsibility. Sophia paused, a reflective look in her eyes, clearly moved by her own narrative. It's funny, isn't it, how a simple question from your child can make you question and reevaluate your whole routine, your priorities. But that's where we are now, on the brink of welcoming a new family member into our home. A decision that started with a demand that caught me off guard, but might just be what we both need. She ended with a slight hopeful smile, inviting her audience to ponder the unexpected twists that life often presents. The very next morning, Sophia and Jack set off to the local animal shelter, a decision that marked a new chapter in their lives. The shelter was a bustling place, filled with the sounds of barking cute dogs and the quiet murmur of volunteers. At work, Sophia watched as Jack's eyes lit up with each cute dog they passed. His excitement was contagious, and even she found herself smiling more than she had. In months after touring the facility, they were introduced to a lively Labrador named Buster, who had been found wandering the streets. Jack knelt down as the cute dog approached, and Buster immediately began to wag his tail, nudging Jack's hand with his nose. He's perfect, Mom, look at him. He's just perfect, Jack exclaimed, his voice filled with a mix of joy and eagerness. The connection was instant, and Sophia knew right then that Buster was going to be part of their family. On the drive home, Jack couldn't stop talking about the plans he had for Buster. We'll go running every morning, and I'll teach him tricks. Maybe we can even go hiking on weekends. 1.1s. His enthusiasm was palpable, and for Sophia, seeing her son so happy and forward-thinking gave her a peace of mind she hadn't realized she'd been missing. However, integrating Buster into their home wasn't without its challenges. The first few nights were restless, with Buster whining and pacing, clearly missing the familiarity of the shelter. Jack did his best to comfort him, sleeping beside him on the floor to ease his transition. Sophia observed this, her heart swelling with pride at the compassion her son showed. She had worried about the responsibility, about whether Jack was ready, but watching him with Buster, she realized that this experience was teaching him about care and commitment in ways she never could have. Alone each day brought new learning experiences for all of them. Buster was energetic and sometimes mischievous, chewing on a shoe here, knocking over a vase there. But Jack handled each incident with a maturity that surprised Sophia. He was patient, taking responsibility for training Buster and managing his behavior. Sophia supported him, helping to set boundaries and schedules for Buster, making sure that both her son and their new cute dog felt secure and loved. Through this journey, the small everyday moments began to weave a new bond between Sophia and Jack, strengthened by their shared commitment to Buster. The challenges of pet ownership were real, but so were the moments of joy and laughter that filled their home. For Sophia, it was a poignant reminder of life's unpredictable nature and the unexpected ways in which love can grow. As the weeks turned into months, Sophia watched the bond between Jack and Buster deepen. Their morning runs became a sacred time for them, a way to start the day with energy and joy. Jack, who had once been reserved and somewhat isolated, was now more open and confident. He had even started making friends at school, fellow cute dog lovers who shared his passion for pets. Sophia could see the change not only in Jack's demeanor, but also in his approach to life. He was more engaged, more willing to take on challenges, and his grades had started to improve as well. One evening, as they sat down for dinner, Jack shared an idea that took Sophia by surprise. "Mom, I've been thinking maybe we could volunteer at the shelter together could be our thing. You know, helping other cute dogs find homes just like we did for Buster." His eyes were earnest, hopeful. Sophia was touched by the suggestion, the thought of spending more time together, giving back to the community that had brought them. Buster was appealing. She nodded, her heart full. "That sounds like a wonderful idea. Jack, let's do it." Their volunteering started small, a few hours each weekend. But soon Sophia found herself looking forward to those hours as much as Jack did. They cleaned kennels, fed the cute dogs, and helped with adoption events. It was hard work but rewarding. The shelter staff appreciated their dedication, and Sophia felt a sense of fulfillment she hadn't experienced in her daily routine for a long time. One particular Saturday, they were at the shelter when a family came in to adopt a cute dog. Jack was asked to introduce them to a few potential matches. Sophia watched from a distance as Jack confidently explained the temperament and needs of each cute dog. The family was impressed, and Jack beamed with pride when they decided on a playful beagle watching her son. Sophia realized how much he had grown. He was no longer the shy boy who had walked into the shelter months ago. He was a young man, making a difference in his community and in the lives of these animals. As they drove home that day, Jack turned to Sophia, his face serious for a moment. "Mom, thanks for saying yes to Buster. It changed everything, you know." Sophia reached over and squeezed his hand, her voice thick with emotion. "Jack, thank you for bringing Buster into our lives. You were right. He was exactly what we needed." Their story had begun with a simple, unexpected request, but it had grown into a journey of growth, connection, and giving as they continued to volunteer and share their love for animals. Sophia knew that these experiences were shaping Jack in profound ways. Just as they were redefining her own path in life, the bond between a boy and his cute dog had turned into so much more, a catalyst for change and a beacon of hope in their lives. Say, 0.1. Chilly morning. As the first hints of winter began to touch the air, Sophia faced a situation that tested the strength and resilience of her small family. Buster, who had always been energetic and healthy, suddenly fell ill. He was lethargic, refusing to eat or go on his morning runs with Jack. Sophia and Jack were deeply worried. Watching their beloved pet suffer was heart-wrenching. Without hesitation, they rushed Buster to the vet. The waiting room was tense, filled with the quiet anxiety of pet owners and the soft whining of animals. Jack sat by Sophia, his face pale, his hands clenched tightly together. "He's going to be okay, right, Mom?" His voice was barely a whisper, loaded with fear and concern. Sophia put her arm around him, trying to muster a confidence she didn't feel. "We're doing everything we can. Jack, the vet will know what to do." After what seemed like hours, the vet finally came out with a somber look. He explained that Buster had a serious infection and needed immediate treatment and possibly surgery. The costs were significant and the outcome uncertain. Sophia felt a wave of despair but hid it from Jack, needing to be strong for him. They agreed to the treatment without a second thought, willing to do whatever it took to save Buster. The days that followed were a blur of worry and hope. Jack spent every moment he could by Buster's side, talking to him, reading to him, just being there. Sophia watched her son, her heart aching for both him and Buster. It was during these long hours in the animal hospital that Sophia realized how much Buster had truly become part of their family. He wasn't just a pet, he was a companion, a friend, a vital part of their lives. Finally, after several tense days, they received good news. Buster's condition had stabilized, and he was responding well to treatment. The relief was overwhelming, and when they were finally able to bring Buster home, the joy was palpable. Jack was over the moon, never leaving Buster's side. His gratitude to the vet and the medical staff deep and sincere. This ordeal brought home the reality of the commitment they had made when they decided to adopt Buster. It wasn't just about the joyful moments or the companionship. It was also about facing challenges and making hard decisions about caring for another life in the face of adversity. As Buster slowly regained his strength, the bond within the family grew even stronger. They had faced a crisis together and come through. It changed, but unbroken. Sophia saw a new maturity in Jack, a resilience that hadn't been there before, and for herself, she discovered a capacity for strength and decision-making that she hadn't known she possessed. Reflecting on the experience, Sophia realized that life with Buster was full of lessons about love, about responsibility, about the depths of their own strength. As they settled back into their routine with Buster once again healthy and vibrant, she knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together as a family. The journey with Buster had taught them the true meaning of commitment and the unbreakable strength of family bonds. Life settled into a new normal for Sophia, Jack and Buster, after the scare they had experienced. The ordeal had brought them closer together, and their routine now included more time for each other and for Buster. They continued their volunteer work at the shelter, now more committed than ever to helping other animals in need. Their shared experiences had deepened their understanding of the responsibilities and joys of pet ownership. One evening, while they were all relaxing in the living room, Jack brought up a conversation that caught Sophia off guard. He started talking about how much Buster had changed their lives for the better, and how he felt they could do more. "Mom, do you think we could help more, maybe foster another cute dog, or even help raise funds for the shelter?" His eyes were bright with enthusiasm, and Sophia could see the genuine passion he had for making a difference. Sophia listened, her heart swelling with pride at her son's growth and compassion. "I think that's a wonderful idea, Jack. We've seen firsthand how much of a difference it can make. Let's think about what we can do that fits with our schedule and resources." They spent the rest of the evening brainstorming ideas, eventually deciding to organize a local fundraiser to support the shelter's medical fund, inspired by Buster's own needs during his illness. The weeks that followed were busy as they planned the event. Sophia took charge of the logistics, securing a venue and coordinating with local businesses for donations, while Jack was in charge of promotion, using social media to spread the word and drum up support. The day of the fundraiser was a flurry of activity, with a bake sale, a raffle, and even a small adoption event. The community response was overwhelming. They raised a significant amount of money, and several pets found new homes. Sophia and Jack stood together at the end of the day, tired but elated at the success of their efforts. "We did it, Mom. Look what we can accomplish when we work together," Jack exclaimed, his voice filled with excitement and pride as they cleaned up. After the event, Sophia reflected on the journey they had embarked on since adopting Buster. What had started as a simple act of giving a lonely cute dog a home had transformed their lives, teaching them about resilience, compassion, and the impact of community. It was clear that this was just the beginning of their adventures in making a difference. That night, as they sat together with Buster snuggled between them, Sophia felt a deep sense of contentment and hope. They had faced challenges, yes, but they had also discovered their strength and their ability to contribute to something larger than themselves. As she looked at Jack and Buster, she knew they were on a path filled with love and service. It was a path she was grateful to be on, and she looked forward to seeing where it would lead them next. As the months rolled on, the bond between Sophia, Jack, and Buster only grew stronger, and their involvement with the local shelter became a significant part of their lives. Their successful fundraiser had inspired other community members to take similar initiatives, turning occasional help into a sustained movement for animal welfare in their neighborhood. Sophia noticed the profound impact their efforts were having, not just on the shelter, but on Jack as well. He was more outgoing, taking leadership roles in school, and participating in community service projects. One day, while they were driving home from a shelter event, Jack turned to Sophia and said, "Mom, do you think what we're doing could inspire other communities too? What if we started a blog or something to share our story and encourage others?" Sophia was taken aback by the idea, but realized the potential it held. "That's a fantastic idea, Jack. We could definitely try to share our journey. It might just motivate others to get involved or adopt pets in need, just like we did with Buster." They decided to start a blog together, documenting their experiences, the challenges they faced, and the joy of making a difference. Jack was eager to learn about digital storytelling, and Sophia was happy to see him applying himself with such passion. Their blog quickly gained followers, resonating with animal lovers and community activists alike. They shared stories of pets they had helped, tips on caring for animals, and advice on organizing community events. As their online presence grew, they started receiving messages from people all over the country, sharing their own stories of inspiration and asking for advice on starting similar initiatives in their areas. One particularly touching message came from a family who had adopted a cute dog because of Jack and Sophia's blog. They wrote about how the cute dog had helped their son, who was struggling with severe anxiety, find new confidence and happiness. Reading the message aloud, Jack looked up at Sophia, his eyes shining with pride and joy. "See, Mom, we're making a difference not just here but everywhere." Encouraged by the positive impact they were making, Sophia and Jack decided to organize a virtual conference with other animal welfare activists to share ideas and strategies for expanding their efforts. The conference was a success, sparking new projects across the country and creating a network of support among animal lovers. As they continued their advocacy, Sophia realized that this journey had brought more than just a pet into their home. It had brought a purpose that tied their small family to a larger cause, enriching their lives with fulfillment and a sense of community. Looking at Jack, who had grown from a shy boy into a confident young man, leading a cause he was passionate about, Sophia knew that their story was far from over. It was a story of love, growth, and the power of a small gesture to ignite change. As they prepared for another community event, she felt a deep gratitude for the unexpected path they had taken, a path that had led them to a life filled with purpose. And if this story resonated with you, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us craft more engaging stories for you.